All right, let's get it going. All right. So, greetings, Manuel. Greetings.
Yes,
Thank you
yes.
for coming to Higher Frequency.
Glad to be
This
here.
is the 15th episode. We were talking about it. I was telling you that I'm not stopping.
There we go. Let's keep it going. I'm loving this right now already.
So, you go by Return to Spirit. I love you. You've vended at some of my events. I
hmm
know you've seen some of my podcasts. We
hmm
are starting with ginger shots.
Okay,
So,
I
there's
love
yours right there.
this.
And the ginger shots are from Exotica's Juice Bar.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's in Little Haiti. And don't worry, because we're gonna go there and chill.
Okay. I
You're
love
gonna
that.
enjoy it.
Yes.
So ginger shots, we cheers, and this is just to boost the energy and enhance our mind and our body
hmm
as we're flowing through this reasoning. Higher frequency, the reasoning. Thank you, Manuel, for showing up. Cheers
Ashe.
to you. Ashe.
Mm. Was I supposed to drink it like a shot? Because that thing, ooh. Mm. Ooh, I felt that. I like that. Mm.
I'm tearing.
Mm.
My eyes are watering, and I have glitter mascara today.
You're looking fantastic, girl.
Whew. Okay, so we start off with ginger shots. It's important
Mm-hmm.
because, we're not, this is a different kind of, you see, I can't even talk yet. Hold on. This is a different kind of lit. This is higher frequency lit. This is enlightenment. And so also he brought us some carrot juice because you told me it didn't matter, right? So he put
Oh.
the little
Out of all things, I'm like, I don't drink carrots, I don't do celery, but
I knew
let's
you
see
were
what
gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say
it's
that when
it's
he gave it to me. But let's because Exoticas, he's amazing. His name
mhm.
is Mario. He's amazing with the elixirs and the juices. And so there's a little bit of pepper in there. I know there's some mango in there. So cheers to you if you want to take a sip and
Yes, yes.
see.
Well, that was a good blend of the ginger, so I'm very confident that this will
Mm,
be good too.
nice and sweet. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For a carrot drink, that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being very honest, and it's very impressive.
Very impressive. And there's a little bit of pepper in here. When he said pepper, I was like, okay, that's different. And I could see the little peppercorns,
Mm-hmm.
but he's fantastic.
I'm
And
sorry, go ahead.
go ahead, tell me what were you gonna say?
I have a very experienced palate, so the pepper does give a balance to the carrot because carrot is very plain and mild. So when I was drinking it, I'm like, what's giving it the kick? I can feel the flavor, but at the same time, the pepper is definitely doing something because on top of the ginger and with
Yeah,
the pepper,
it blends in. My eyes are less watery now. Thank you, Mario. Um, this is called the reasoning. And as I was telling you, the reasoning is we're just tapping into what we're talking about. Something
yes,
might come
yes,
up and we just go on with that. And so something just came up. Your rings, very impressive.
yes.
Talk about it because you go by Return to Spirit.
hmm
And I first met you when you vended at my events. I think I met you through Aya Spa,
You made me.
through Sherelle. I think Sherelle sent you to
Mm-hmm.
me. Yeah.
You want to know a little backstory about
Tell
that?
me. Tell me.
That's where you first met me. I first met you at an event where my spirit just called me to go down to Miami. Miami's too far from me. It's like I live in Broward, so coming to Miami is like Mad Max. The traffic, the people, you got to be prepared.
Right.
But you was hosting an event. I think it was your first African heritage event,
The Indigenous
the
event.
indigenous event. So my spirit leads me to go there, and this is where I was going into vending, but I never vended down in Miami. The energy was magical. That was
Yes.
the
What
first.
venue was it?
Oh man,
Was it
what
at Zay's?
what I
That
can
was just a couple
remember.
years ago.
Yeah, Cheryl was there. She was doing massage.
Okay.
There
Yep.
was a lot of venues out there, and I was just
Yes.
like, "Whoa!" And
Yes.
that was the first time I ever seen a venue full of Black men and women
Yes.
showing
Say
their
it
products,
loud.
showing the new version of them because this is what 2025 or 24.
I think it was 2024 I did it at that
Yeah,
venue.
and I'm like, wait a minute. there's us who still remember their roots.
Yes.
And then I never seen you walking by. You have a sister,
I
correct?
have a twin sister,
Twin
yes.
sister. And I'm like, okay, who's which one I'm
She
talking?
was there, yes.
And so the night was just magical. But the moment that my ancestors brought me there, what they wanted me to witness was towards the end, where you congratulated all the singers, all the performance, and you're like, now it's time for the children. And you allow, I believe, your daughter or
My
your
daughter,
daughter to
yeah.
get front center stage
Yes.
and then perform.
Yes.
That moment, I just seen all my ancestors, the women start cheering and crying the
Yes.
same, like, bon. That's what I
Bon.
remember hearing, bon, good.
Yes.
Because we know we live in a culture where the youth was suppressed, where a lot of our mothers, our fathers didn't give the next generation to shine, the ability to shine because of jealousy, animosity, all these things. But when Spirit says, we need you to see how the next world is going to be born, how those men and women who've been through
Wow.
it are going to give their children this time to truly shine. At that
Yes.
moment, there was this dude and his son standing next to me. He's like, Dad, that's a girl on stage. He's like a kid. And he's like, his eyes just like blew up because she was dancing. He was a
Dancing.
dancer. And his dad was like, go dance. Cause you told
I think
people.
you're talking about Wes. Yeah.
Yeah. And the kid was just mesmerized watching your daughter dance. He was like mimicking all the moves. My heart was just like, wow, this is a
Oh,
moment. And I think I even have like footage because I remember recording myself.
yeah.
So that was the first time I saw
Oh,
your spirit.
I love that.
Yes. And ever since then, my spirit was like, well, follow her, watch her. You never know, but there was something powerful in that moment. And then life happens, and now here we are.
Here we are.
And so
Oh, I
that's a
love
testament of
that.
God.
And thank you for bringing that up because I think it is very important to bring the youth out. And, there is someone that I hold so dear to my heart, and I call her my fairy godmother.
Mm,
And her children just excelled in the arts and creativity, and they like made it. They're very successful in life, dancing and art and this and visual artists, all her children. So I was like, how did you do that? Because it's not easy to get rich, quote unquote, you know what I mean, doing these kind of things, you know what I mean,
facts.
being a dancer, being an artist, a visual artist and all the things. And she was like, at 5 years old, find their genius. And so my daughter loves to sing, she loves to dance. And so putting her on stage is important because it also makes her face her fear, you know?
Mm,
And so thank you for telling
that's
me that. I
beautiful.
forgot I do now remember when you came in as a vendor, you did tell me this story. Yes.
Hmm.
And now I remember. Yes, yes, yes. And thank you for seeing me first and just seeing the light because the Indigenous event is something that's so important to me. That was actually I want to say the 7th or 8th year. I've been
Hmm.
doing it for a while.
Hmm.
And that was one of the biggest ones
Yeah.
at Zay's. It was a lot of people.
I was like, I'm definitely coming back to do this
Yeah,
again.
yeah, 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 yes, yes. And since then you've vended and you carry a lot of stones,
Hmm.
clearly with all the stones. And this is impressive because I'm usually like this. I'm usually jeweled out.
Hmm.
Today was a little less, but usually I'm like all of this, but you took it to another level. Like, look at that ring.
Yeah, this is my baby amethyst point, and when I want to feel all my energy, and where when I'm about to step out, I'm gonna let the world know, hey, when you come around my toroidal field, you're gonna feel me, and then the way you're gonna feel me is the way I'm gonna express myself.
Yes.
So the stone represents the different energies from the chakra system, just how vibrant and colorful we can be. At
Mm,
the same time, when we look into nature, what does it say about the most brightest things in in the ecosystem? They can be very, very loving and they can be very dangerous, like a little frog, very colorful but dangerous. So the
mm,
spiritual side of it is, hey, the crystals are not just for show, like we see a lot of people. I'm not a fake guru.
true.
Where I'm wearing these energies is an expression of where my energetic field is within me. So as we communicate, as I walk, see me. If you want to appreciate, you want to give a compliment, come on. But if you want these lukewarm, religious people and you want to test it, that's is where they're gonna see the truth. Because spirit is about expression and making people feel. And so
Yes.
crystals are a great modality to use when you're trying to either ground or connect with higher realms or just get in tune with your own energetic field. So crystals has a long story with me from in
Wow.
law enforcement to not even you know what's the word I'm looking for, seeing how expensive crystals were to
Right.
now being a person who says, I see the value in it. And now I want to create jewelry. I want to create things that I know will help others. And yeah, we can go into the whole
So
entire story.
you made all these. You made it,
Every
including your
single one.
necklace.
Every single one. This is one of one. The seven chakra.
Sure is one of one.
I told myself, and this is where which camera would I look into if I need to
This
talk?
one.
I'm a divine masculine here to work with my divine feminines. And so everyone who chooses to work with me and like really want to be a part of like return to spirit, you will get a custom seven chakra necklace as showing that this is tribe. We're moving to a time where we need to find our own identities. And return to spirit was that thing that spirit told me, like, hey, your gift since you were a child, like we talk about, was seeing spirit, talking to spirits, be able to feel energy. And I never relinquished that. That was like my children's sword through all things in life. And so now I'm able to as an adult, channel those same energies. It's like, all right, let me find the tribe who understand the spirit or who are trying to, navigate those waters. The path I live, the things that I've been through can now assist the next generation, and it can assist the people who are like my age who are looking for guidance. And
Deep,
yeah.
deep. Because calling your company Return to Spirit is bold, is real. I mean, it's as raw as you can get it. I mean, Return to Spirit is that. And I noticed that your stones are raw.
Hmm.
You know, they're not cut up and like shaved, or I notice that they're raw, and those are my favorite kind of stones
Me
because it's
too.
like, yeah, because it's like so authentic. It's one of one. It's unique.
Literally, that's some of the statements I have on my website and on my like social media pages of authenticity. And so when we see how crystals grow, they grow from the earth
Right.
and they're just as alive as we are. And they grow in so many different shapes and sizes. And so I like to wrap the jewelry in its most natural form to show its uniqueness because we're all unique. The way
Right,
we
right,
look,
right.
our shades, our bodies, it all has a different energetic expression. And so when you're able to take that crystal and wrap it in a way that's like not too bulky, because I was looking for crystals after, my spirit told me to start, connecting with different elements. And I was looking online. I'm like, I'm not paying for that.
Right.
And I'm looking at this one, I'm like, this looks like 40 other ones that,
Yeah,
you can
true.
find on Temu or Amazon. And I'm like, I want the energy and I was very conscientious, whatever.
Yes,
Words are
yes,
not my
yep.
thing.
That's
But
it.
to see where I can actually, find a crystal that was holistically or ethically sourced or anything like
Wow.
that. And then by me choosing the crystal, I could then work with it. And then one
Mm.
turned into two. And this is first thing just personal for me because when I'll say in 2022, that's when I can say the protocol went off where spirit's like, yo, things about to pick up and you start need to protect, you need more protection. And this is before I took a trip to Egypt
Whoa.
or Kemet. Yeah. And so a black tourmaline bracelet was the first thing I ever worn. And going to some of these calls, I was starting to see and feel the difference between like the negative energies that was like consuming me into my 94s, which is like my partners, and then like going home and then like processing my emotions. I'm like, yo, why am I starting to feel this now? It's like, well, you're not getting sucked in anymore. And so now you're starting to see the different negative energies that's yours and it's not yours. And so that started just to, sharpen. And the sharper I got with my abilities to feel different energies with crystals, I'm like, okay, I want to wear this one now. I want to wear that one now. And then next thing you know, I had a collection. And through that collection, Spirit's like, now you're going to start transitioning. And I'm like, what do you mean transitioning? Return to Spirit came about through when I was, so let me go back 6 years with the Broad Sheriff's Office. 4 of those years I was with the QRF. That's our quick response force. So all the things you see with the riots and all the stuff, I was one of those men who would be in his uniforms on the front line with my
Whoa.
team.
Wait, rewind. Did
Yeah.
you hear that? He used to be a police officer.
Hmm.
He used to be a police officer. Okay. Family.
Ashe.
does this image look like a police officer? And so I was taken aback when you told me that.
Oh.
That's why I wanted to stop you and say it clearer that this was your line of duty,
Mhm.
right? Before the real purpose line of duty came in. You know, when did it shift? Is this where you were about to talk about where it shifted?
The shift, yeah. So we heard the terms washers. We heard the term seers, oracles. Have you heard of Dr. Malachi York?
Of course.
He's from planet Riz. These planets, these galaxies, they exist. So when
Yes.
I tell people I'm spirit, I don't come from this realm, but I'm in flesh. I came out of my mom's womb. However, my conscience, my ability to connect and, make you feel things is not of this world.
Mhm,
It
mhm.
doesn't mean I'm special. It just means, hey, just like we have these weird demonic entities, you have those of light and you have those who are malevolent, both light and dark, whatever.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
so with that, there's a lot of us who come as starch seeds to, crystals children
True.
and
Indigo
religion and
children.
all the I'm living proof. And I don't do that to be arrogant. I'm like, I'm 5'6", and I was in one of the most toughest cities in South Florida, Pompano Beach. I
Wow.
handle every call from rape, murder, uh, suicide, the shootings,
Mm.
all of them. And then when I stand here, when I have this glow and this energy, it was like, well, spirit needed me to go into these homes because there's a lot of people who claim spirit, but they're lukewarm or they're straight up fake. And this has caused such an imbalance within our society and within this whole entire planet because guess what? If you're really going through emotional or spiritual affliction, and then you have this scripture man or this lukewarm service level person at the seat of the highest form of spiritual authority, but all he can give you is a few words out of a book that has been doctored and edited from time to time, it's like you're gonna lose that child.
Mm,
You're gonna lose that man. You're gonna lose that woman.
mm.
And we've seen this happen over and over and over, and we blamed it on, well, you're just misbehaving. You're this da 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 da. And the list can goes on, but internally we felt, burnt by the church. We felt burnt by religion, all these things. Well, there were people who God already put on this planet who had these gifts that no matter what they did in life, they had a purpose. And
Right.
so I bring up Dr. York because he was one of these men who spirit brought down here to be leaders for us.
Right. Of course.
But what did they do to him?
Mm.
Like many of our black leaders, men and women, but they know they can destroy the man. They have to be careful with the female vessel because
True.
there's karma and there's curses when he destroy, especially the black woman.
Oof.
But there's
I was talking
loopholes.
about that
Oh,
today.
it's coming. It's all unraveling now. And so when you see people walking around claiming I'm from this galaxy, da 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 da, before it needs to throw them in a nut house. They need to medicate them, put them on all these antidepressants, all these
Right.
stuff. But it was like, no, they're letting you know, hey, we're here to help people.
Yeah.
So we're bringing our different way of life into this melting pot to show you that we didn't have to live in this rigid, financial system. We didn't have to live in these things. A lot of people denied it. So now we're feeling the consequences of being so, out of alignment with Mother Nature. So the spiritual beings, the earth beings, the water beings, all with different gifts. When we see the core of Christ, it's a body. So if I'm the
Mm.
foot, if I'm the foot or I'm the hand, I'm still working as one, and I still benefit for the whole body. When you lose that, this is where things go left. So my time in uniform was to show people I did it because Spirit told me to do it. I left because Spirit told me to do it. The reason why I'm standing before you is because Spirit gave me the strength to stand before you. I've seen greater men fall. The reason why I haven't fall is because of Spirit.
Mm.
And you try to find, nah, let's find a book he read that from. Let's find, who's he's really trying to copy. You're not going to find nothing.
Right.
Everything I said, there was no book in front of me.
Yeah.
And so there's people who, when they begin to speak, to sing, to move, like, yo, how are you mesmerizing me? Like, how are you got me captivated?
Mm.
God made, or there's an anointing over this man or woman's life. And then you're
Mm.
supposed to honor that. But when you lose that honor, we get a lot of fugazis. We get a lot of these fake people. And so my time in uniform was to see the choices people were really making.
Mhm,
Because you
mhm,
can claim Christ all you want. But if Deputy Verez is at your door and you're asking me to sacrifice your husband, sacrifice your son, sacrifice your daughter because you're angry right now, guess what? Spirit saw it too. So there's times I'm like, do you really want me to do this? And there was no leeway. I'm like, yo, you taking that ride. But guess what? You are innocent in the eyes of God. Man's law will never trump spirit. So the karma that a lot of officers feel and stuff like that, it's like, you know who you chose.
Yes.
And so you will choose a God you serve. Most has chose the dollar. Most has chose man's word because
So were
go
you
ahead.
talking like this while you
Always.
were
You have to tone it down because we
Yeah,
were still the veil was starting to lift. So when you
right,
see the thing like 2020, what was the year? 2020 thing, it was the year of the seven. So you had like the 7-7 portal. People like make things as make believe things.
right.
But these are spiritual gateways. These are internal mental gateways. And then in the physical world, they are different, like when you go to the pyramids or you go to these sacred sites. They're made on certain ley lines. They're built a certain way for a specific reason. Nothing's by accident. However, it all has a divine purpose. And so, ooh, my mind went blank. What was the question again?
My question was just that were you like this during,
I had to tone it
you being
down.
cop because I can't imagine
Oh,
you being a cop. So it's like my interactions with police officers is just they're just so mean. And I'm just like, you don't have to yell at me. I I'm like and at the same time, I'm like, "No, you guys are trained to be like this."
oh,
I met a cop who I'm friends with him now and like,
mhm.
be the same way. He pulled me over and he was just yelling at me. I was like, "Uh-uh. We need to be friends. Because you are not going to yell at me like this. Like, I do not deserve you yell." And he was so taken aback by me saying
Mhm.
that we became cool for real. He got my Instagram, I got his, and when I looked on his Instagram, he has a beautiful family. He has a loving wife, children, and I'm just like, yo, you're not really like this. You can't be really like this. Like you're like this on the strength of like them telling you that you have to be mean first or you have to attack first. That's what I assume because they always come with such aggression first.
It's I'm class 321. This
What
was
does that mean?
a police academy class. So every has like just you know how you have a class of 2009, 2010, whatever you
Right, right, right,
graduate.
right,
So
right.
police has their own academy.
Mm-hmm.
So my academy class was 321 in 2019. We were the last police academy to go in before COVID happened and all the stuff. And so you see the personalities of the men and women who, before they put on the uniform, what they go in, including myself. We are not going in there thinking, we want to be badasses to hurt
Right,
people and be
right.
corrupt. Like we have the intentions to be the spiritual warriors of our community to truly protect
Yeah,
and
the
serve.
protectors and stuff.
So, you go through the academy and you learn about all the craziness that can happen and it do happen, and then you are put into reality. And then you're in the city of Miami, you're in the city of Fort Lauderdale or wherever you are, and then you
And
see
then you have to
how
act like that.
society treats each other.
Right.
And then
Dang.
if
Deep.
you are angry at your boyfriend and he snapped, but you pressed every right button to turn him into that devil, and then you're like, Deputy Perez, go clean up my mess. So you spoke death to this person, and now I have to go arrest them because you didn't want to have a conversation with this person. And so if I have to do that 7 days a week, three
Like
years,
calling
10
out
years.
let's go
Oh,
a little deeper because what are you saying specifically? Like women who
mhm.
do that to their men?
Oh,
Is
a
that what you're
lot.
saying that?
A lot.
Yeah, say it because, women have to hold accountability for this,
Mhm.
because I've seen that too where it's like, come on, you put the fire, you amped him up to the point. I mean, you poke the bear and then what happens? And then when the bear erupts or whenever the fire erupts,
Mhm.
it's like then you call,
You're like, "Oh, I don't know what's
it's kind
happening."
of like, the white syndrome or the women syndrome. It kind of goes hand in hand. You're either calling white privilege or you're calling women privilege.
Mhm.
It's a
And
thing. It
both
is a thing.
both privilege on destroying first and foremost the black man,
Oof.
then the Hispanic man, the white man, the Asian man. It's first to destroy the man.
Destroy the man. Yeah.
Because once you women don't have no one, and then this guy has no spiritual investment, no financial investment other than to exploit you. Well, after I give you a bad business deal, after I do something to your son, who's gonna come defend him? The politician? 911? We only deal with certain misdemeanors and felonies, and so so what society has created with the bureaucrats and politicians, all this stuff, was to create a police force of men and women who are here to protect the community,
Right.
but you are at the what I'm saying, you're being paid by the devil or by the governmental force. Am I making sense?
Deep.
And so when you have that, you have a compromised group of men and women
Whoa.
who don't really have the ability to serve their families and their communities they truly where they want to because they're beholden by the dollar. And so when we see how wicked men and women can be for the dollar, and then that we can use lawyers to circumvent certain laws because you want to, divorce me, but this guy's going to like completely drain every single account out of a person's life. You can leave him practically homeless and dead.
Yeah.
That's not gonna make him angry. He's not gonna have the thoughts of wanting to kill that politician
Right.
or that, my mind just went blank with that prosecutor who's a diverse attorney.
Mhm.
But now you have to think of the consequence. The consequence was me in a uniform. And so no matter what you did, I
Mm.
had to protect even the scumbags or the rich and powerful or the true victims. But if the true victims are not getting their true justice because all of them above them have the money, then I'm a pawn. So there's a lot of calls where law enforcement go on to and they see, man, society don't care about each other. But every day I put on this uniform, I have to risk my life. I have to take the crap from the rich. I have to get yelled out. I have to be called X, Y, and Z. So it gets F everyone. You don't care about your husband? I'm not gonna stick my neck out for him. You called me, F him. I'm much can we curse here?
Right, right, right. Yeah, yeah,
Oh
you
yeah.
can.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I was
Yeah.
trying to and so we forget about the psyche of the human. And so when you're dealing with someone in a uniform where he is a white cop or a Hispanic cop, why is he dealing with a black woman, a black man issues? I don't want to deal with another race issues. And I'm standing here letting you know that. So we have a whole entire demographic of men and women in our communities dealing with our emotional, spiritual bullshit, and
Oof.
then you expect them to understand. And then when we not understand our history, we gave them our power because black men was so dangerous that we had to give the power to the government through the welfare and all these things. I only know this because I was 91. So I'm like, yo, like I'm a black boy, but when I grow up, I don't want to be a thug.
Right.
And so why are we relinquishing all that power and giving it to, this certain
Mm.
force? Well, now they have all the power and now they're responsible for us like children. Am I making sense? I don't
Of
hope.
course you are.
And so when you have men in uniform, governmental men who
Mhm.
are now technically the fathers and mothers of community issues because we don't know how to handle communities within home, like another demographic of people who they don't deal with law enforcement or the way society deals with, their issues in their family. They keep it in house and they know how to fix situations without evolving external sources. But if every external source is a man in uniform, you homeless, you don't like him, you don't like her, the fighting in the school where it's like you're
Mm.
putting a lot of personal stress on a man who has no true, investment into this man or woman's life. And so when you get those like the 1050s is when people pull over.
Right.
That might be 8 hours of dealing with bullshit. I
Mm.
mean bullshit meaning if I'm not hunting a pedophile, if I'm not
Mm.
going after the scammers who just destroyed, a whole entire community by stealing their money, if I'm not going after active shooter, why are we dealing with your emotional BS? And then when it get caught or it goes completely south because we didn't get to your home in time and he killed you or beat you, when your child gets into an accident and then you want to
Mm.
blame the government, someone has to take that fall. It's usually a man in uniform. So this us and them relationship happens because we see Black Lives Matter. What
Right.
they really give us? So they're talking shit about me in uniform. And
Mhm.
I'm looking at these men, I'm like, you don't even do half what I've done.
Right.
But you on your knees crying to the white man, talking about, oh, nothing's
Oof.
happening, nothing's happening. It's like, okay, then why am I in uniform doing this for you guys? Pick up a gun, pick up a badge or whatever you want to do, and protect your community.
Did you ever have to use your gun?
I've only had to point it at a man twice and
Pointed, but you never.
never had to pull the trigger.
Right.
That's lucky
Yeah.
because when shit hits the fan, you have to be able to look a man in the eye and be like, sir, I will gun you the fuck down.
Oof.
Get on the ground. If he doesn't feel that, this is where you see cops get killed.
Right.
This is where you see he ain't
People
about
get
nothing.
killed,
Yeah.
you know?
So the real world is, yo, you gotta have your hitters on both ends because we don't have 500 missing kids because those men were scared. We have 100 kids because fathers and a lot of men in uniform who are supposed to be the light didn't put them in their place. So we have this great imbalance, but slowly it's gonna get fixed. But that's what karma and that's what spirit now because laws don't work against spirit. And so it's only going to be the men and women who says, I'm about that life and I'm willing to stand on that principle. So either you come find and give me the kids back, I'm gonna go look for them. If I lose my life during that time, I have peace with that. But I don't have peace being on my knees, working a redundant, broken 9 to 5, knowing I'm never gonna be able to achieve this certain status
Right.
because we see the rig system. If you're not willing to call out the rig system, guess what? You will play
You're part
along.
of it. Yeah.
And then those were like,
Ooh,
nope,
you're good
thank you.
because back to that cop that pulled me over, and now you just reminded me how the exchange happened. And the exchange happened, I was like, I want to interview you on my podcast. Was like probably like the second or third interview that I had.
Wow.
And he was like, I can't, you know, because I could tell he was afraid of the system,
We don't
because
have
I was just like, what do you mean you can't? Of course you can. I just want to know how you guys think. Like, why are you so mean? Like, why are these things? And we're still cool till this day.
mhm.
Like,
We're great people. It's
yeah,
like,
we're still cool till
yo.
this day. And that's just because I looked over that part, that kind of emotion, and I saw how it lifted off of him. And it was like a breath of fresh air. And now we're still cool till this day. And I
Mhm.
congratulate him on his birthdays and his children's birthdays and all the things. And like, I wanted to hear this because I wonder what they go through. There was one other cop that he used to come to my yoga class, and he was just telling me all the stories, and he was just like, they're miserable. Like, they hate people. You know what I mean? It's just they're always upset. And I would just wonder why, because you guys are the ones that are supposed to protect, you know? Did you ever shift anybody's mind? Like, was there
Oh,
like your partner or like any other police officers that like were inspired by you?
100%. Because authenticity will always resonate and have a stronger coherence than fear, than anger, than sadness. And so when you're put in a situation where the easiest was just to arrest someone, the easiest was just to tell someone to fuck off,
Mhm.
but you actually take that time and then you practice what you preach, and then it's done repeatedly, people are always watching.
Right.
And so we live in, sometimes we forget that even though we might not get the recognition, but if you're living the life you are living, people have no choice but to acknowledge that.
Mhm.
So there are times where I have these conversations, and once you hear the truth, you hear it. Now it's your choice to deny it. And at that point, you're lying to yourself. And so there's so many
Oof.
times, calls, I'm like, retell me your story. Retell me your story. Like, this be like a domestic call and stuff like that, where the story makes no sense. They're definitely lying. And so you just look at them in the eyes like, is this really what you
What
want?
happened?
And you're like, because we all have that inner child. We all have
Right,
that
right.
inner subconscious mind.
Yeah.
So when I'm able to say, listen to your subconscious mind. I'm an empath. So when we says we don't fight flesh and blood, just because I'm in uniform
Mm.
doesn't mean that I'm not here and I can't wear your hearts on the scale.
'Cause spiritual wickedness in high and low places.
Hmm.
Dang.
So when you're dealing with, the terms Elohim, seer, and I'm like, what decision do you really want me to do? And then I'm going to give that option to you. And then my partner's watching, like, yo, you didn't have to do all this. This could have been an easy report, gone.
Yeah.
But then you're able to see people crying. You're able to see families come back together. You're able to see grown men who, the toughest, be like, become a child again. And then I'm holding them crying on. I'm like, all right, no, this is going to be a Bravo. Bravo means no report. you know, Once we're
Yeah.
done, we have CAD notes. You had to always pick good CAD notes because no good deed goes unpunished. So you got to say, hey, I came out here. We talked it out and we all agreed. So just in case some shit happens afterwards, don't say I was negligent. We reached a certain conclusion. And so when you feel spirit, you feel it. And there's so many times where I walk into these homes, light and dark. I've seen demons in people.
I wanted to ask you what's the craziest thing that you saw
Ooh,
spiritually and the craziest thing that you went through
oh
that
my
you could
god.
remember?
Like my mind is spinning, and so I'm like trying to be conscious. Like
Is there so
so
many?
many. I would say
Gosh.
the ones that like stuck with me to the point where I'm like, yeah, I don't care what my sergeant says, DeSantis says, Trump says. I'm like, if you got an issue with me speaking the truth, you would take the gun and badge because you got me fucked up if I'm going to live a lie and then die serving while lying. It makes no sense. We're all going to die. So let me die doing what God wants me to do
Mm.
because that's what you're really going to remember. And so with that, where was I? This is where I'm sorry, I forgot the question.
What
Oh,
was the
the
craziest thing
cause. The cause that made
spiritually?
me like I need to start like protecting myself with
Yeah, yeah,
more
yeah.
than just, going in there was we got a call for call them signal 20. Signal 20 is being mentally ill.
Right.
But before we know that, you call the dispatcher, the sister would be like, okay, what's going on? Like my sister, she woke up smashing all of the, you know, glass in the house. And so we're like, okay, whatever. She might be on drugs. But they level to signal 20. I get there. My partner hasn't arrived yet. And it's a lot of calls in like
Mm.
10,000 calls per month. And you have a city block. So you're always like pumping out calls and you just try to knock them out and see what's our papers and what are not papers and whatever. I get to the house. I see the boyfriend, the girlfriend, and the child like sitting outside the door, and they look fucking spook. I'm like, hey, what's going on? She's like, yo, like my sister, we don't know what's going on with her, but she woke up screaming, saying that we were all raping her, and she started to take like the dishes and start throwing them, breaking everything in the house. And we're like, dang, like what happened? Like we don't know. She like, I had her move in with me because she was having issues at my mom's house, but we don't know what happened. And so I walk into the house, and I swear it's like some paranormal activity shit. She's just in the corner. The corner is dark. She's just standing there. And as soon as I walk in, you just just sometimes when you walk into certain places, it's heavy. And it's heavy
Mhm.
because there's
Yeah.
a dark spirit there. And the dark spirit is like, you are going, it's like it says
You feel
they
it.
consume the energy. Like, I'm right here. And so this is where back in the
Mm.
day you had like the exorcisms and all this stuff. But
Mhm.
we're in 2026, it hasn't stopped. You just decided not to pay attention to it. And then, you know,
Call
out of
the
sight, out of
police instead of
mind.
the priest.
Exactly. But most of these priests are doing what?
Craziness too.
hmm
Yep.
So
Pedophilia. Oh
it
dear.
goes on and on.
It's
Number one, human
written.
trafficking. And so,
It's written in the scriptures.
gosh, so I'm like, okay, what's going on? I'm thinking she's high as fuck or something. And I'm talking to her. And just like a year and her talking, she's talking to me coherent. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, no, this is some new drug. Cause I'm like, usually when they're on something, they're not making no type of sense.
Right.
So they're like, okay, yeah, you're crazy. We're going to the mental hospital. Turn
Right.
around, click, click, and we go. And it's
Click,
one,
click.
two. But this time it's like, she's like, do you think I'm stupid? I'm like, what? It's like, you just asked me the same question 3 times. I'm like, oh shit, she realized that. Because you try to like, when someone's
Right.
lying, you can catch them
Right.
in a
Right.
lie if
Right.
ask the 3 ways and differently. She caught all of them. Then I'm asking, okay, what happened? She's like, when I'm sleeping, something or someone is raping me. And it's not the first time. And she's looking me dead in the eye and she's telling that. I'm like, okay. I'm like, how can I help you? She's
Oh
like,
my
I don't know.
goodness.
And I'm like, do you want to go to the hospital with me? She's like, are you going to take me? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I'll go with you. I'm like, okay. But I'm like, I don't trust you because you said that too easily. So I
Yeah.
call my partner. I'm like, hey, I'm going to wait for you because there are times where you will go and say, like, yeah, I want to go, I'm going to go. And then when you get too close, they go batshit crazy on you. And then
Yeah.
you're in a use of force. So I'm like, I don't see nothing in her hand, but there's a lot of broken glass.
Right.
And sometimes you have to go use of force with men or women. It's like both get it equally at that point.
Oh
Unfortunately,
no.
this is where life or death can occur. And when you are lackadaisical, people get hurt. And
Right.
so there is a time where it's like, hey, you got to do what you got to do. And so my partner comes, and the weirdest thing, I was able just to command her. I'm like, okay, turn around. She did with brace. I'm like, whoa, this is different. It was like my voice was able to help her feel at peace. So Click, click. I'm thinking it was gonna be a crazy situation. No, got in her backseat of my car. She actually asked to play, "Can you play some Christian music?" I'm like, "Okay."
Whoa.
I found something at the time.
'Cause
I'm rolling.
return to spirit is in the
Yeah.
is in the
And
car.
at that point, the business isn't started. I'm just wearing this one black tourmaline bracelet.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, whatever. Taking her, drop her off at that
Whoa.
point. Cool. But next thing you know, I'm like, damn, what is that? Like I felt like whatever was in the house was not following me. And I'm like, it was like, go research, go research. And I'm like, what the fuck that means research? I'm feeling
Yeah,
something. I'm not
yeah.
crazy. I'm like, I'm not crazy. But why is something compelling me? And I keep hearing like someone whispering, go research. I'm like, okay. I typed in, um,
Oof.
what I write in are like spirits that have sex with people
Right.
and incubus,
Succubus.
succubus. Everything she described was an incubus spirit. And I'm just like, okay, that was different because now that I researched that, it just resonates. You know when he just gets
Yeah,
goosebumps, I'm
yeah,
just
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
mm. Then after that, so many calls where I just looking people in the eye, I start to feel and see something different. But that call kind of opened it
Yeah.
up to that. And so there's moments like that. And then come to find out, there's sometimes when we do actions, when we have sex with the wrong people, when you don't consult a real oracle and a bruja to figure out, hey, should I keep this child or should I not keep this child? This was done by a council. And there's only a few select women who can actually perceive and do this type of ritual. Because at the end of the day, you are taking a life. And so you want this is going back to different
Right,
ancient
right,
practice.
right.
You'll sit with the council of women. Who is the seed? Because that's very important. Were you
Yes.
impregnated by a demon? Were you impregnated by a devil, an entity? Or hey, you had a
Or the
fun
lineage.
and like you actually got a good seed. It's like it would be a crime almost to lose this seed because with your bloodline and the bloodline of this man, it's like you have the ability to create and birth something amazing. So don't have permission to do it.
Right,
You can still do some crazy stuff on your own,
right.
but we as a council did not give you, or we say no, we're not going to touch it. And so you still have your choice, but now you're going to live with your consequence. So there's a lot
Deep.
of young girls who, and men feel it too, because we're still connected. Once we connect, we make that life. Now we're connected by blood,
For sure.
and you sever that, and you sever it on the wrong time. Sometimes spirit wants you to do that. Like, guess what? A death occurred in your womb. Now you're gonna get punished. So they can
Right.
constantly
Because
attack
they
you.
do it, or sometimes like I've always felt like, to even go personal, like, well, my daughter's father, it's like I heard his name
Hmm.
and I understood the assignment. I literally heard his name in my ear.
Hmm.
And like it was, what do they call it? Beta state when you're like half asleep, half
Hmm.
awake. So it's like you're aware, but you're not really aware.
Like in the
That
quantum
was
realm. Yeah.
right. And that was when I heard his name. Literally like how me and you were talking. I'll
It-
never forget it.
it-
And as soon as I woke up, I understood the assignment. I was just like, oh, he's the one. He's the one I'm supposed to have my child with. And my daughter was definitely planned.
mhm.
And I knew that she is like she's definitely an indigo child. And between her energy is 1,000 times more between mine
Oh
and
yeah.
her dad's. I don't know if you ever met her dad.
I haven't met her dad, but
You did meet him?
I don't think I did.
Oh,
But
you
like I
didn't?
said,
Okay, because he was there that night. He
she
spoke in
was
Amharic. He's the one who did the prayer in Amharic. Because remember, I had
okay. I remember
all
that part.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
have all the prayers in different
Hmm.
languages. And so he is magical spirit
That's a divine union.
for sure.
So, in order to birth powerful children this way, it needs a powerful womb, it needs a powerful seed. Now, sometimes we don't know how powerful we are because we were severed through slavery and all these things, but what's in the blood is in the blood.
Yeah.
Your ancestors are your ancestry. And you got to be careful who we're dealing with because you hurt someone
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So,
So that is one that you remembered. Have you ever kept in touch? Like, did you ever find out how she's doing or
no,
no,
you,
is
you
there
made,
anybody that you ever kept in touch with? Because you see, I keep in touch with the police officer that was mean to me. I keep in touch with him. But like you guys don't ever
I've done this for so many people, and there's time people come to me, I'm like, I don't remember you, but they remember what I've done for them.
really?
And
That's happened to me too.
and so my time in law enforcement was to learn. I
Right.
need to see the black magic. I was an exorcist. Through the spoken word, I can make people's some spirits leave. And if they don't want to leave, it's like, okay, you're either gonna have to deal with it, meaning make peace with it.
Right.
Because we have light and dark. And sometimes our dark side of us does protect us. And so it's like, okay, spirit, it's not gonna leave you because sometimes you're too soft. And so when that side comes out, it does mean someone has pushed you to the brink where it had to come out. And so when you were to convey and say, I had to do this, da, 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 it's like, what did he or she say to you? It's like, why would you say that to her? Why would you do that?
Right.
So you expect this person not, and so now this is where you start to realize when my yacht wasn't about, sending someone to jail. It was like, if this person is acting this erratic, what brought him to this place? Because we know that spirit only comes out when her or his life is in danger. So we're gonna ask you, did you put this person's life in danger? And the answer is yes. Well, you're truly the guilty
Here's the
one.
repercussion to that.
Exactly.
So like, okay, so now you are starting to feel your power through all these different calls, through all the things that like people are kind of like you're feeling the energy. The
I'm
energy is
going
rising.
crazy at this point.
Right.
Because I'm
So when was your last day? Like when was the moment that you were like, no more?
Spirit said, I couldn't leave yet. 2022 is when it clicked. Like a lot of people went through protocols, and the
Right.
protocols was like, I need to change my life. I need to do this.
That's true.
Start hearing these things. And it was a spiritual thing. For me, it was a call where her name was Elijah Hart. That's the one. I do remember her name. It was the first Signal 5.
Deep.
Signal 5 means someone who didn't survive and they're dead. And so this week it was wild because we was having a shooting every day, homicide every day. As soon as you go into roll call, and I work the morning shift, so 5 to 5. You be driving in, turn the radio on, you already hear the tone. A tone means boop. Hey, something crazy happened. Everyone needs to listen. This location, that location. So imagine every day as you're going into work, you're hearing a tone already. Hey, no roll call. Go straight to this call because the city's already packed and day hasn't even started yet. So weeks like that, it gets heavy. It's like, I don't know. I'm trying to save time because it could get really elaborate, but there are seasons and energies where we have to be very careful, where we shouldn't be outside, where we should be in home, where we should be, and all these other things that our foremothers and forefathers need to teach us. But we get this call of a shooting, and we heard a shot. It was on Long Dixie, and when we have this thing called Shot Spotter. Shot Spotter is a system that picks up gunshots. A lot of urban cities where it's heavily dense have those things. And so Shot Spotter goes off on this area, like on 5th and Dixie. And so, all right, well, is it a fake Shot Spotter or is it a real Shot Spotter? A second one comes out. Like, oh, okay. If there's two, most likely there's a real shooting going on. So, hey, we break from roll call and we all head out. A couple units go down to the first shot where it's going on, and then the other units go to the second shot. I go to the second shot. The second shot comes around Dixie and 3rd. Is an Exxon gas station. And so I see, as I'm pulled up to the gas station, I can see a car, suspiciously just there. Gas station is closed, and I see two dudes outside of the car, one on the ground screaming, and the other person just sitting. And so I draw down, hey, what's going on? Da 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 da. He's screaming. So I don't know what's in the car, and I'm looking at these two dudes here. So I just keep drawing down on him. I'm like, all right, what's going on? He said, originally they said, they were shot at for some reason, but we don't know. You in Pompano, 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, were you trying to buy drugs? Like, what are you doing down here? Like, we know this time is the witching hour. So what are you doing? And so, he's not saying partner comes. Once my backup comes, I'm like, all right, well, nothing came out. Let's clear the car. And so while he's focused on them, I go to the vehicle and I see in the back seat like someone like crunched down on the bottom. And I look down, I see it's a girl. I'm like, ma'am, come out the car. Yeah, come out the car. She's not responding to me. And I'm like, okay. She's like trying to pretend I'm not here. And I look, I'm like, I just got this gut wrench feeling like, okay, she's not responding. Grab the door open, I grab her body, and you can feel like the lifeness out of it. I might get a little emotional when I tell this part. So if I don't. So I grab her. I'm trying to pull her out, but a body feels different when it's lifeless. And so I'm trying to grab a good part of a body to just pull, but it was just like wailing out. And so eventually I just had to just grab her all out. And I'm like, okay, she didn't wake up yet. She's not moving yet. I put her on the ground. At that point, my partner come. We do I forget the terminology, but we do a body scan. We look for cuts, bruises, holes, and stuff like
Mhm.
that. I'm checking, and I see there's a bullet hole on the side of her rib. And so I see it. I'm like, all right, cool. At that time, I just opened up my med kit and I'm gonna start packing it. I'm like, yo, start chest compressions. And so I'm like, get him to start the chest compressions. And I just take my finger and like, all right, just shove it into the bullet hole because you want to stop the bleeding. However, as soon as I start about to do that, fire rescue comes. He looks, flashlight 10-7. 10-7 means she's not
Out.
there. All right, call the time. Da 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 da. You got to keep moving because you're still on an active scene.
Right.
And so that ends. And I don't know if it was when I was at sleeping or at the same moment, but it was a split second. I was like, Spirit, I think this is maybe 3 years in, 4 years. My timing is off, but I'm like, all the calls we go on to, bullshit.
Mhm.
But the moment I could have really saved someone, there's a young 18-year girl dead.
Oh, no.
Beautiful. I'm like, yo, what is this? And that's what gets a lot of cops angry
Right.
because like we want to save
Yeah.
in a moment where we can actually be a hero, dead, dead, dead. Oh, you did a great report, still going to jail. And so
Did they
people,
find the person? Who was the
oh,
person? Was it any of the people that were outside?
this is where spirit comes in because at that point I'm like, okay, spirit, what was this for? I seen these beautiful 3 women, like
Mhm.
maybe 9 feet tall, beautiful black women. Like it was like a vision,
Spiritual?
spiritual.
Okay.
Came down. She was one of ours. So there are some women and some girls who have spiritual protection like no wonder.
Mhm.
This is not for only for show. You're going to watch and see when we get justice, and you need to report back to us. At that point, I made a pact. I'm like, Spirit, if I can't find this person who killed them, I will gun them down myself.
Mm.
I will do the report. Give me this person. I want their fucking head. You have to mean it. Spirit's like, okay, if you really want this person, it comes at a cost. All life comes at a cost.
Mhm.
But I'm doing it for a righteous cause. I want my yacht. I want balance. So I'm going to use spirituality, voodoo, whatever. Let it be to get vengeance for this young girl. Spirit said, okay. And he let it go. I get a text from my partner. He was the main investigator for the case. And he sends me a picture. And I could find it. I'll show you. He's like, man, this must be karma. Comes out, the boyfriend accidentally killed her.
Accidentally?
That's much as I know. So I don't know the full details of how all the clicks play out, but pretty much an argument happened where the first shooting happened. He has a gun. It was him, his uncle, some white girl, and some other situation. Arguing about either going to a club or calling it a night. They didn't like how it was going, and next you know, we pull out
Gun comes out.
guns. He shot the white girl. I think she got shot in the leg. There was a tussle. Uncle got shot in the chest, and then I think the gun went off and hit her. And so the time where it happened there to the time where he got on an Exxon, they were panicking. So the time where they could just drove straight to the hospital, or if they would have stayed there and have fire rescue came,
Right.
she might have not bled out. We don't know. And so at that point, he sends me the article. Suspect involved in a triple homicide dies in a separate shooting.
What?
Karma will not let you sleep
Oh
if you
my gosh, I
cross.
got goosebumps all over me.
And
This
that.
is heavy.
So if we want to, like, we can definitely change the pace, but that was spirit letting me know you just witnessed. When you go across certain bloodlines, we will come for you. No man's law will stop them. It will make you go crazy. So imagine you think you're about to get a nice, good rest of sleep. But as soon as you
Right.
close your eyes, the only things you're playing, bah,
Yeah.
seeing her dead, bah, seeing her dead.
Mhm.
Beep, beep, beep. Alarm wake up. Oh, you gotta go to school. You gotta go to work. People looking at you. Hey, are you okay? Oh, tell them you killed her. Now you're hearing all these
Yeah,
voices in
yeah,
your
yeah,
head. You
yeah.
can't sleep. Oh, they're gonna go out and commit
They're gonna
murder.
oh
They
my
get filled with so
gosh.
much anger. They wanna go out. There's no coming back. So these are the stories they don't want to
Deep.
talk about. And then after that, Spirit's like, you need to come home. And that's where my journey to going to Egypt started. Because like that changed everything. And seeing that, it's like, now that you witnessed that, you're part of the real spiritual warfare. The real spiritual warfare is not us working and doing all this stuff. It's like, no, you're going to see the demons. You're going to see the miracles. You're going to see it all. But you need to be strong enough now, because when you stand and talk, people are going to either feel you or they're going to destroy you. And then we're going to have you here because I'm only here speaking now because I survived.
Right.
And so the whole journey of Egypt, that was like sharpening myself, cleansing
Right. Of
myself.
course.
I did 3 months of, what's the thing? You've heard like sleep that sound deprivation
Deprivation.
tank.
Yeah.
I did that for 3 months before went to Egypt. I had to cleanse my body. And that's when like I went through my own Kundalini awakening. I'm talking about visions, downloads. People are like, yo, how do you talk like this? Oh, I don't talk like this here. I could go into an astral realm and it feels like I live maybe 40, 50 years. And when I come back into this body, like, how do you know that? If I tell you the truth, you won't believe me. So I had to say
Right.
Google, I'll say Chat
Yeah.
GPT. But then it's like, nah, you're saying it too weird. Like, well, I can tell you that when I leave this body, I can live in another realm. And then by the time I come back, 5 minutes here is like 30 years there. That's quantum reality. That's neuroplasticity. A lot of people don't really quite understand that. And so you keep it simple. But I'm like, yo, I'm in a tank.
Right.
But once I go out, and then next thing you know, I'm in places that don't even make sense. It's not even gonna make sense to the most, common man or woman, just because it's like so out there. But I know what I lived through. I know what I experienced.
Right.
And so when I speak this way, it's like I only speak this way because I
Through
experienced it.
experience, of
And
course.
they're like, "What? You're too young. You did it." It's like,
I
you
know.
don't
I'm
understand the
just
spirit realm. This world.
so it's like two questions in one that I
Right.
have. Okay, so did any other police officer or your partner, I'm going to say that, follow you out of the precinct, like decided to leave too? And the other question is like, are you in touch with any of them?
Yes. I have two deputies who they saved my life. I don't know if I should tell them because I don't know if they want their business out, but
But they
both like,
saved your life.
saved my life in the sense that I've always been this way. I just
Mhm.
know I had to like tone it down. I was just this way because they're a little
Okay,
too
because I
weird.
was like, did this come before, after, during?
like
Because I
like
would assume during.
I'll show you pictures of me how I looked when I didn't have my hair,
Hmm.
and my hair just started to grow when I transferred and I was an SRO. But I had a brush cut and all that stuff, and so I'll show you how I look. But pretty much they kind of could feel me,
Right,
and spirit was like they're here for you. And I would keep
right,
saying spirit because I'm like, excuse me, like spirit. I don't say that just like as a cop out. I'm like, yo, like I talk to people that you don't see. And if I want to make it more palpable, it might scare you. And so, as a respect, I keep it very humble in his life. But I'm like, okay, nose around, let me bring back those veils.
right, right,
That's
right,
the power
right.
of a griot. We remove veils. So, as I speak in the new story, I can make the veil very thin. And then if someone's there, I'm like, oh, you think I'm joking? I'm gonna rip this veil back and I'm gonna let that spirit come get you. And you can't block it because spirit is not flesh. So unless you have the heart and the mind and the spiritual fortitude to
Yeah.
block it,
And the light and the protection and the shield.
most people don't have that. But yeah, two deputies were the ones who the 6 years I served, they accepted me. They were like my 94. So all the calls I went on to while we was on the same shift, they were there for me. And then when I transferred to other shift, people respect you if you stand on principle.
Right.
So even though I was that weird deputy, you had to respect me because I did my business. I was 10-8. Not perfect. You still make
So they
mistakes.
called you weird and stuff like that?
Not weird, but you get looks.
Yeah.
And you get looks, but at the same time, there's a level of, every man and woman is their own person. So, like, going down the world of, law enforcement, we can go into it's like almost like high school,
Right.
college, and stuff like
Like
that.
sorority or like fraternity, sorority kind of thing, like clicky.
You definitely have that in
Yeah.
certain agencies, certain groups.
Right.
So we were the oddballs at the same time. We did our thing, so they understood me. So when I speak, they're like, "All right," they would accept it because, like,
So do you have like a forever pass? Like a forever since you were a cop, like if you get pulled over, like are they gonna be like, oh, hey, Manuel, you're good.
it'll be out of respect
Okay.
because, like, law enforcement, first responders, ER doctors, nurses, like, we deal with bullshit that most society would never see or
Yeah.
deal with.
Yo, I'm seeing it on a whole different level. Like
Hmm.
we gotta pray for the police officers now. Cause like I looked at it. Actually, a very close family member just moved to Texas to
Mm.
become a police officer, and she's so sweet. And I was just like, this can't be for you,
She might have the
but
spirit of
she
all.
wants to be a detective. So she
Oof.
has to go through
Yeah.
being a police officer before she becomes a detective. So it's like, yeah, I gotta pray for her. We gotta pray for the cops because they're going through it. They're going through it for real,
I'm gonna be very honest.
every day. Say it.
Fuck the police.
Straight
It is your job as the feminine vessel to choose the men, not only singular, but the men who you will give authority to speak with you, and if so, discipline someone in your community with respect, dignity, and love. Law enforcement do not belong to the women and
No, they
children.
don't.
They
They
belong
don't.
to the politicians. We're a lease to you.
Say it.
And so with that lease, the moment you cross us, you're no different.
Right, but there has to be a couple of them like
A
you,
lot of them.
you know?
There's
Those are the
so
ones I'm
much.
talking about, like,
I pray for them every night, but
but
the
at the same time
uniform,
they choose that,
they're compromised.
yeah, they're
You got
compromised.
a mortgage. You got bills. If I weren't, if you seen the video I put on 2024, before I resigned, I had 50K, you know, as my cushion. I already built my business. I already got this. You wanna know how much money I got now in 2 years? No one really support this. We seen the truth.
Yeah,
How many people spoke way better than me, had more than me?
yeah,
Once they spoke against how wicked it is, they lost everything. So people have to play the game. And so a lot of people realize this job is crappy, but it's me or you.
right.
If I got bills to pay, if I got a mortgage that's whatever, I can't leave and find another
Yeah, yeah.
job.
Like a lot of things, you
So
know? So, oh my goodness. Ooh, this
there's
was
always a
heavy.
solution. It's heavy
This was
because if it's too heavy, we can always change it, make it
no,
light.
I'm blown away. I knew that this was gonna be really deep. I knew I was gonna tap into that, but I did not even expect that I was gonna feel it like this. Um, there is a moment that you decided to sit down and say, not only am I going to become a healer essentially because you're calling your company Return to Spirit, you do Reiki healing. So there is a moment that you also said, I'm going to start wrapping these stones and selling these stones, but giving these stones because I've been gifted by you,
Mhm,
you know, and I know that you don't just sell, you gift as well through energy, through the spirit, where it's calling you to say, this is for you.
mhm.
Whether the monetary exchange happens or not, this is for you. When did you start going more in depth of not just being this spiritual being or this connection? Now you're creating tools to help other people. And so the tools are from the earth. You're just wrapping it in these unique ways, right? And how you have it, and now giving it to the people and having your stand. Because
Mhm.
whenever I see you, I don't just see you in my events, right? I see you at the vegan block party.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
And when I see you, I'm like, you're just light.
It's spirit, and I keep. I hope it don't get redundant, but it's like I follow my intuition.
Right.
This is where, as a divine masculine, you know how to follow those intuitive nudges that comes from the eternal womb. I don't have a real
That
womb, but
sacred
it's like the
space.
sacredness. So I'm like,
Yes.
all right, with enough, focus and discipline, does my intuitive also matches that energy? When the answer is yes, where there's no type of like wishy-washy, I'm like, spirit, like, go ahead.
Right.
I don't see what's on the other end, but I know this level of alignment. I've felt it so many times where I can make that leap of faith. And so the time before Return to Spirit came when I made the transition from the QRF road deputy into an SRO. I was in line to become a detective. I already knew all the detective sergeants. I already
Oh
had the
my
test. And
gosh.
so it's like, yo, you're going to be a great fit because we're cool. And I felt very articulate and I'm smart. So handling calls the same way I'm having conversations with you. All right, handle these BS reports. Da, 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 da. You'd be like, yo, you're in. Have your spirits like, we want you in the school. I'm like, what do you mean? Deputy Perez? Because everyone wants to get away from the bullshit of the road. The
Right.
road is crazy. Like, where you see that crazy ass naked person peeing on the sidewalk, like,
I saw that yesterday.
like
I saw that
yeah,
yesterday right out
yeah.
here.
There's times where I'm like, bro, put your dick back in your pants and get the fuck out of here. And it's like, then you got grab them, tase them. It's like we're the last line. And so we have a monopoly on violence. We have a monopoly on justice. This caused such a great imbalance. That's why I said ethic police. Like, I love them, but it's like the Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia, mean if they're too busy, no dude, no thug, no crazy people are dumb enough to still come in this community because there's still men and women who are gunning the fuck down. And it will be done with justice, within the law. Nothing has changed. These still exist. There's some streets in Pompano never had a call on. When you drive on the street, every gut crashes gut. The difference between these streets and another streets, two-parent household, there are men who are connected with the past,
Right.
meaning, yo, they're about that life. They're done. However, this street, all y'all young kids, don't come over here because they're not gonna call the police. And they'll make sure whatever they do to you disappears. This world, they still exist. The young kids don't really understand it, so they out here doing crazy stuff and they're destroying themselves. But the OGs who didn't go away, they still move with law and they move with certain discipline. And so with that, oh my gosh, I forgot the question.
What? Shoot, you were flowing.
Yeah, when I
Yeah,
flow,
just
sometimes
flow.
I come back like I'm not here. I
Yeah,
allow
there no
another.
such thing. This is the reasoning. Like we
I
just
heard,
reasoning, we just
I
flowing.
heard
No, keep
myself. I'm like, that
going.
sounded cool, but I came back. I'm like, oh shit,
That
wait,
happens to
not.
me all the time. When I'm doing meditations, when I'm,
Mm-hmm.
because I always say that the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll do a meditation or I'm doing a guided meditation and I'm like, yeah, yeah, that's for you, Fab. Yeah, the words that are coming out of my mouth, even though I'm saying it for the people to hear, like
Yeah, I'm
I'm
spitting
channeling
fire.
in, I'm a vessel. So like, you know what I mean? Like it's just coming out. It's just coming out. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you just like lose track. But no, you were flowing. You were definitely flowing.
SRO school.
Mhm.
So I'm like, all right, I gotta. This is where I'm transitioning because I realized, man, I've seen deputies take their lives. I've seen
What?
regular, yeah, you can't live with that much guilt and shame.
Yes,
A
of
heavy heart.
course.
This is where the parable you see in ancient Egypt of the
Judah? Yep,
oh yeah, the spirit is
yep.
something where it's like, ooh, it was
Like the
like
Judas.
it's one. Yo, if I know I sent your father to jail or I arrested on a BS like
Yeah.
fire child support warrant, and it completely ruined this man's life to the point where now he really can't support his family. Then his family falls because they lost his father. That is karma on that officer's
Mm.
head. There's no escaping it. And so this is where spirit said, "What did you choose? Spirit or the dollar?" We created a very, very, very,
Oof.
very, very multifaceted system where we now directly and indirectly serve the dollar rather than
True.
humanity. And so it's like, hey, guess what? Just because we tricked you doesn't mean you're not going to pay for it. So you can play cognitive dissonance all
Yeah.
you want, but guess what? You put the gun in your mouth. Guess what? You became a rapist just like the ones you used to arrest. Guess what? And so it becomes like almost a spiritual will attached to
Heavy.
you.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to cleanse yourself, Palo Santo, Dragon Blood, and stuff like that, and you
Say it.
going to the right people to cleanse
Mhm.
yourself, guess what? It adds up.
Of course.
So the heart
Heavier and heavier.
and the feather, that's the
Oof.
grief, and that is truth with love. When it gets too heavy, too heavy, too heavy, the drugs don't cope no more, the paycheck don't even work no more. Let's say you lose your job, but you got 30 years of being an asshole. What was it for? And so a lot of people realize, dang, I sold my soul and I didn't much get what I wanted at the end of the day,
Yep.
men and women. And so it's like, whew, well, can you live with yourself and can you heal now? We'll say, well, you claim to be a Christian. To be a Christ means you have found the light, but now you look just as dark.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to admit it and say you are lying? You're a fake lukewarm Christian?
Dang.
Some can't admit it. So they take themselves out. They take everyone else out around with them.
Oh my
Spirit says, guess
goodness.
what? All y'all knew. You
They
already think
knew.
these pastors up here doing anything? Y'all accepted that. You know these officers are doing fucked up things. Who'd y'all really put it away or change for this?
Mhm.
So, spirit, me, when I said it's like, guess what? We're making those choices. Not all of them are going to be good, but when we're moving and we're pretending like there's no consequence, spirit don't care about that. Like, oh, you think you can just leave your child at any school? Now your child's on OnlyFans? And your child has got finger. It's like, guess what? You didn't raise her. You didn't raise him.
That's
Has
true.
happened has happened. And so this is where we must be conscious of our decisions, conscious of the people we allow into our families, conscious of those we allow to touch us.
Oh my
We become
goodness.
so numb and want a conveniency and put out of sight, out of mind. This comes to cost. Sometimes it doesn't hit you all at once,
Right.
but it
But
does
it's a
come.
trickle effect.
And so I'm
And that's why
sitting,
we gotta return to spirit.
shame. But yeah, going back to that, it was I'm like, all right, spirit wants me to do, SRO. And I fought it. But I'm telling you, I'll go on a call. Next you know, I fuck up on a report. BS, BS, BS. I'm like, yo, like the worst starting to happen to
Yeah,
me
because
because
you're
I
so
wasn't
yeah, you're not
in
with that.
alignment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, God, what do you want me to do? Like, you need to become an SRO. Don't worry, you're going to enjoy it. I'm like, whatever. So I pull out the paper. I'm like, hey, Sarge, I want to be an SRO. No problem. I'm gonna help you out. The easiest transition I ever had. I'm talking about everything I could have asked for it to happen. God was handed to me. Oh, you want to do this? Don't worry, I got this for you. Hey, you're about to take the SRO test. Oh, here's the study guide. I'm like, yo, I just had to ask, giving it to me. All right, cool. And so I got lucky enough where SRO school is a week long. You can do it down here in Broward at the school, or there's a convention up in Orlando. We got lucky to have, and my homegirl, she's an amazing female deputy. Like she has the spirit of Oya in her.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, military woman, like awesome. Like a lot of the women helped me a lot. And that's just like
Of course.
high priest women usually
Right.
we like this. And she's like, all right, don't worry about it. She helped me fill out all the applications. She the one who did the paperwork for for the stipend and everything. I had to do nothing. All I had to do was say yes.
Mm.
So I'm like, okay. So boom. I'm about to take a week off of work, meaning not dealing with the craziness of the road. I'm about to spend a week in a hotel in Orlando doing SRO school. And I'm like, yo, I'm in Orlando, yeah. Where's Universal Studios? That's Orlando, right? I'm
Mhm.
like, I haven't been in years. So on one of these days, I'm taking a trip and going to the theme park. And so I'm getting paid to sit in the classroom. And I'm like, wow, this feels different already. But spirits wanted me to see what the teachers were talking
Right.
about. And that's where it's like
So you
return
could
to spirit
assess.
came.
Oof.
We're just a number, a badge. Most of our
Yeah.
training, we train to go into schools to eliminate the threat. We go into neighborhoods to eliminate the threat. And we go into private homes to eliminate the threat. None of those trainings are trained to go into these giant mansions, going to these warehouses where where most of these children are being kept, or the slave workers, the human trafficking, the organ trafficking. I'm like, yo, of all the training we're doing, everything is designed to just go after the local
Right,
population, and we're
right.
leaving the big and bad things to the
Yeah.
FBI, the CIA, and like the SWAT team and stuff like that. But even them, they're only dealing with most of the local things and stuff that they won't mention
Right,
publicly.
right.
And so I'm hearing how men speak about children that's not theirs. I'm like, yo, not in uniform, I'll fucking put a bullet in all you guys' heads because those
Straight
are
up.
other kids. Those are not yours. And we know how fucked up the situation is. We force kids to get shot, put masks on them. We know how nasty some of these teachers are. So they're going crazy because they're doing everything adults do. And we have not changed the school curriculum since we were children. So the kids are spazzing out because we are putting them through the most spiritual, emotional, and humiliating form of education. And so when those who say, fuck this man, he's not my father, I don't even listen to him. Now you got a grown stranger dominating you, you're going to have clashes. And so Spirit's like, do you just want to be another name? How are you making your statement in the world? Because everything that I did good, yeah, they were showing me on the news, Deputy Perez, he was a great either died in line of duty or he saved this, but BSO would have got all the credit. The badge would have got all the credit. And so people don't see the human who's really the one sacrificing themselves. I met so many men who like put homeless families in homes, use their own money. I've done it myself. And that's why I'm like, you know what? If you can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah.
And so there's always been times where I'm not perfect. I'm like, man, you just pissed me the fuck off. Like, yo, you're like, if like you go in a job and probably like, I'm gonna handle this one. Really? Like, yep. Then he takes care of the call. He's like, yo, and that'll be a white dude. We be a Hispanic dude. So sometimes it's not even a race. It's just
Oh
someone has
my
the heart.
goodness.
But
You guys see my face is in distress. I'm like, oh my gosh.
they can't speak this way. And so I seen how most of my domestic situations, most of the OnlyFans girls I met, most of the prostitutes living in their cars, living in the streets, I met them all. Had a conversation with them. What's really going on? Everything's eternal.
Yeah.
The sacral trauma that happened to a lot of young girls sends them to the streets. And the only way they can cope and not remember is keep themselves in this state of constant high,
Yeah.
constant lust, constant thing, because at least that feels good. But I'm like, baby, each time you come out of your high,
Yeah.
you start to
Gotta
feel
be.
and remember everything. And then that's where you're on these psych meds. And when you don't have your psych meds, you're in the streets going crazy, trying to run over, jump on people's cars and stuff like that. Talk to these young boys. You talk about all the young boys who were molested, all the young boys who was raped. Like, these where you get those violent criminals who turn around and then do something even more violent to other women and children because hurt people hurt people. So all our crimes was dealing because people had a no foundations,
Of
no type of
course.
foundation because they were living in the most worst situation. They had no control of their sexual energy because what we teach here in the West is straight up pornography. Nothing wrong with pornography, but like you're giving it to children with no type of guidance on what a womb is, what the penis is,
Right. The
what
portal, how to
sacredness.
protect the portal,
Exactly.
how not to give up the portal so quickly,
Exactly.
how to keep
Ramification.
it sacred.
These were
I have
the
these conversations all the time with women.
Yep.
And most times they don't want to hear it.
It feels good.
Yeah.
Yo, once you start having sex and you're the receiver, you're the one who say yes. And so
Right.
the system was created in a way that showed sex as this non, no consequence action and stuff like that. But in reality, they wanted women to ingest so much spiritual trauma within the womb
Right.
because, well, you're connecting with men. Now you're gonna target men as your enemy because they put your dick in you and they hurt you, and now he left you or he had another
And the
girlfriend.
trauma,
Pain.
pain.
If this starts to happen to a young girl in middle school, and she's connecting, disconnecting, connecting, disconnecting, you're going to be ravished by the time you're an adult,
Of
and you're not going to
course.
realize how much you gave away.
Yeah.
So it snaps. Boys, not so much in the sexual, but it's the loss of identity. The only image of being a man is officer, army, a man in his suit, or beta male preacher boy, or just some worker, a nobody. And men were like, "Yo, where's my identity?" And they see how weak some of their fathers are. They see the constant, glorification of the nigga, constant glorification of the baller and the scammer, and they go out and do these things. Bro, you just robbed someone.
Right.
That was an innocent man.
Right.
You don't think karma's gonna come after you because you want to be cool? And so
Interesting that you say that because I always say, you know, like you cannot get caught, but karma. And so I've always feared karma. I've
mhm,
always feared God.
facts.
So it doesn't even matter if I can get away with something. You can never get away
Mhm.
because karma is real and there is a karmic debt that will always be placed.
People think I'm nice because I'm weak. I'm like, listen, I want karma. Once you cross
I
that
say the
line,
same thing.
I'm like, you're gonna fuck around and find out. But
Yeah.
until then, I'm moving with peace because that's what keeps me in alignment. And then I know I don't have to deal with no one else BS because it's not mine. If I
Yeah.
really hurt you, I'll apologize. If I hurt you and I meant it, yo, what you gonna do about it?
Right.
This is where there's definitely a level about 100%, and I still have the first picture when I started to, like, just I forget what the term you call it, but you just start drawing,
Right.
and I'm like, I need something for myself because what was it? Scribble,
Scribble.
scribble. Yeah, it's like a spiritual version of it. It's like you just
Mhm.
go into the state and you start drawing, and I was trying to find what my logo was going to be because
Mm.
at that point, spirit's like, you need, especially us men, we need something to stand on that's ours, that is our own, that's not attached to a government agency. Because the moment they don't like what I'm talking about, the moment they don't like me, the moment I don't like this, I'm either stuck or I disappear into the abyss of nothingness because I
Mhm.
was just a badge number. And so I'm like, what I'm going to stand on? What can I bring into the world that when people ask, who's Manuel Varez? I can be like, Manuel Varez was the founder of Return to Spirit. And it
Mhm.
comes through the experience of everything I went through. And so I
Deep.
realized, I'm like, yo, these people have the most precious, you know, gift on this planet, which is our children. And we're already setting them up for failure the same way that we're doing it in the 80s, 70s, 90s,
Beyond.
whatever. It's
Right.
like the same. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. And so that's where Return to Spirit is trying to come back because I'm realizing if we can actually help kids see the truth, men and women, and see the perceive who's the real enemy, and the enemy is not really flesh and blood, but it's a spiritual enemy. But now you have the critical thinking skills,
Mhm.
you're rooted, you as a man or woman are in control of your sexual energy, and you can choose who to bless with it and who to withhold it from. And then you have that identity where if someone just pokes at you, you're not going to flat because you have just a fake ego. And then when you actually know how to love and know how to project love properly, and you can speak this, and you have good discernment, and you have right thinking, you have an alignment. Now
Deep.
you become less of a burden on society. As crazy as it sound.
You sealed it up perfectly, like, with everything that you just said, and to seal up the whole reasoning of return to spirit and your company. And, you know, I'm taken aback. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It was like we'll go
this
in the
is the first time
vortex.
I've been lost for words and like quiet and just listening because I'm like, yo,
Hmm. Oh, this we can have part two, part three,
we
because
are.
this is like
We definitely, even Ronar in the background, you guys don't see him, but he's like, yep. Like, it's because it's like, we
this
needed to hear this. We need to hear this. And I can't wait for the people to hear this, when
actually.
this releases, because, you know, people got to hear this. Like, and to hear it from, you call yourself the divine masculine. And I clearly see myself as a divine feminine.
Yes, you are. You better claim that. Come on.
So so, you know, I think that's why, we've been able to sit here
Hmm.
in such balance and connection, and the goosebumps keeps coming in and out, and just the, you know what I mean? And like all the things that you're saying, like I'm saying some of the spiritual things, the words, you're saying it too. It's just like there's such a balance between us
Hmm.
right now, and the overstanding of what the purpose is, the overstanding of what this is all about. We got to hear it. We have to know it. We have to assess.
Hmm.
We have to assess return to spirit and all the things possible. And so we use some of earth things to return to spirit. And that's going right back to how you're so protected with all these stones, because sometimes people look at stones and they're just like, oh, it's just another person with stones.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And I was like that. The very first stone that's when I started really believing was the black stone. Not the onyx. I'm forgetting the name right now.
Obsidian, black tourmaline. There's another one people like to use in the beginning.
Shungite.
Shungite. Oh, that's a good one.
Shungite. I'm
Yes.
like, I'm gonna get it. The shungite. And I was blown away by
Mm-hmm.
the shungite. And I believe it. I have it in my car. There are other stones that I have in my car too. But they're raw stones, you know? And so what I realize is that we can use earth, we can tap in with the earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so these stones are just here to just remind us that this is a vibration that we carry and we see it, we know it, and then we enhance it through the knowing, through the
Mm-hmm.
wisdom. So it's not like this stone is going to secure all the bad things that, this one is going to take away all the bad things. We have to just really channel ourselves into allowing this stone. That's how I see it. Is that how it
It's
goes for you?
you ever, so I'm gonna connect it with scientific and spirituality. We
Okay.
heard the terms as above, so below, as
Yes.
within, so without.
Yes.
When we look at the chakra system, and you see it on my logo, red is the lowest vibration.
Right.
However, it's still your root chakra.
Right.
So what spirit's letting you know and what scientifically letting you know, when you're resonating at that low level is very dense. And so when you're able to root yourself, ground yourself, this is where that first stability comes in. And so when you see the next chakra system is the sacral, water.
Right.
So if you're stable, that means you're not shaky, you're not moving, nothing's moving. You're grounded. And now your sexual energy, your sacral energy, your waters are not in turbulence because now you're not dealing with, security issues, safety issues, or anything like that. You feel secure. Now your sacral energy has the ability to not be in such erratic situation. It can actually rest. And this is where you get to still waters. Still waters is your sacral energy in a position where you decide if you want to go sexual, you want to go creative. It's your decision. Both are creative because when you're looking at somebody, like all the stars start thinking about what you about to do with him or her, and it's like, yeah. And then you go ahead and then take action. And so once the sacral is in a good spot, you're starting to elevate because now you're not worrying about security. Now you're in a more creative area. So once you hit that creative, you're starting to go up the vibration scale. The next
Right.
one is the
Solar
solar plex.
plexus.
How do you see yourself? Because that identity is what's going to really allow you to have that confidence to go out into the world and actually begin to move in the way you say you move. But you have to have confidence. So when you're lacking that confidence, this is where you have, a soft ego, thin skin, and all that stuff. But if you're rooted, your sacral is good, and you have a healthy identity, now you're starting to elevate. Next thing,
Do
you
you
have love for yourself. I look good, I feel good, and I smell good. Bitch, I love
know?
myself.
Straight up.
You feel me? And then so I was like, okay. And then once you really have that eternal love, you really know not everyone's for you.
Yeah.
And you're gonna realize, yo, yeah, you're a baddie, but after a hit, I won't like you either.
Yeah.
And it's not to be mean or anything. We can see when you truly understand yourself, you know how much you actually resonate with someone. So when you mentioned earlier about the divine masculine and feminine, it's energy, it's a flow. And so we're able to receive and accept, and it's going back and forth. And we're like,
Yes.
it feels
Yeah,
good,
that's what's
you
happening.
know? And when you're in that area, it's not coming from a place of perversion. It's coming from a place of energy.
Yeah.
Energy doesn't care about, how man has turned energy into. But when you actually know how to move it, then it's like, whoa, I didn't know we could do this with energy. Because it's a whole new rhythm. And then when you ever have that whole new rhythm, well, how are you going to use it? How are you going to communicate? That's your
Say
throat
it.
chakra.
Say
And so
it.
as you begin to resonate, how you speak to others and how you speak to yourself is going to affect you because you're sending that vibration out into the ether. And so when you have those positive affirmations, there's always people talk about affirmation. It's like you speak your truth. And as we cast spells, are you casting love? Are you casting abundance? Or are you casting lack? Are you hurting other people with your throat? That can cause a lot of imbalances. However, when it's balanced, you go up even higher. Now you're dealing with the indigo color, your third eye. How are you perceiving the world? Your perception is what you see. And so if you got a messed up perception, you think all women are bitches or all men ain't shit, guess what? That's what you're gonna see.
Yeah.
And then you're not gonna be able to see the different perspectives that the world has because it's multifaceted. But when you're linear or you only have one way of thinking, well, you're limiting yourself. Then you're gonna speak with that limitation. You're gonna love with that limitation. You're gonna have a limited identity. You're gonna have an imbalanced sacral chakra, and then you're gonna be unstable because, well, you don't even know who you are because you don't know what you're thinking.
Right.
So the crown chakra, which everyone loves,
Ascension.
and upon my crown chakra, this is where who do you communicate with? What are your thoughts or thought? So this we get a lot of like ancient, teaching called Thoth. Thoth was the mental body. One perspective of him. And so the way you think is how you see. How you see is how you speak. How you speak is how you love. How you love is how you see yourself. How you see yourself is how you're going to treat others and how you're going to connect with. And how you see others connect with, well, that's going to be your stable ground. And so you have that alignment. Okay, now you're rocketing.
Listen. You described it so perfectly because I can tell you, I always feel like it is very important to talk about the chakras from the crown down.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you broke it down, and I've never heard anybody say it. And I've actually like fought with people, like, because I would teach the chakras. I teach chakras, and I'm going to gift you, by the way, with my chakra cleanse, my 7-day chakra cleanse. I'm going to give that to you. It's a digital product, but it's a 7-day cleanse, and I wrote it in 2013 when people weren't really talking about chakras, and then someone randomly sent me this description of the chakras from the crown down. And I was like, that's it. That's how I've been teaching it without knowing, because it's like discernment. How you see yourself here, how you see yourself here is how you walk on earth. So it must have to be from the crown down because it's all of this before you we're here in the physical. So you have to be able to align all of this to walk strong on earth. So your spirit must come first.
And so this is where you get the inversion of making everything external. And once you make everything external, well, if I don't have the 6'5" frame that a man should be, I'm already thinking in lack.
Yeah.
And then once I'm moving in that type of lack, guess what? There's
I
no
hate
way to
lack
recover from
thinkers.
that. And
Ugh.
it's vice versa for men and women. And so the energy just means it's always circulating.
Right.
We're never going to be in one state of high bliss.
Right.
That's like
Constant evolution.
That's nirvana when we hit the purple.
Ooh.
However, with duality, we have to come back because life is cyclical.
Yes.
But once we understand that we can hit it once, when we go around again, it's like, okay, well, the moment I'm not having a great time, but we know this is just a moment. So let me make sure I'm rooted. Let me make sure I ain't moving no crazy way.
Right.
Let me make sure everything else still going because eventually what goes up must come down and what goes down must come up. So we're always in this constant cycle.
Right, like infinite.
You gotta be mindful of what cycle you're in. And so when you actually understand your spirit, understand your roots, understand what makes you tick and what gives you the ick, then you have a more baseline of your energy. And then you find people who can match your energy. And then matching the energy doesn't mean, one for one. It just means when we connect, there's a current that can flow naturally.
Right.
And then when it's not there, maybe we haven't met each other long enough and we just have to communicate. But sometimes like, no, we're not meant for each other.
Yeah.
And so
oh gosh, Manuel, you need to come here once a month.
Girl, I'm here.
We need words from Return to Spirit, words from Manuel, like a little snippet every time. I gotta talk to you every day.
Yo.
Because this is reminders. This is just constant reminders of self-awareness and just spiritual awareness, spirit self. This is constant. Oh, my hair came out, everything. This is
you're looking good. I'm loving it. It's the
so
portal.
I got some gifts for you.
Okay.
Tell me, what's the portal? Tell me, keep going. What's the portal?
So the portal is, and this is, I always give it from my perspective. The portal is once time becomes irrelevant, when we realize that the whole world is energy, frequency, and vibration, once we hit into that energy, I keep going back to it. Once we hit that vortex, and then we're just feeling things, we're just moving things, we're just speaking things, everything else just becomes a blur. And then that portal becomes that gateway where we see nuance. We begin to see new perspective. This is where we achieve enlightenment. Enlightenment comes from the darkness, nothing, the void. That's also a beautiful place. That's also the middle symbol of my logo is the Bindu chakra, the
Mm,
point of creation and nothing at all.
mhm.
Before we begin to speak, there's nothing going on, and then next you know, boom. We didn't know how this podcast
Right.
was going to go, but
Reasoning.
boom.
And there will be a link in the description so they can contact you, so everybody can contact you,
Yes, yes.
because people need to listen, contact Manuel, because we got to know this right now. This is our true spiritual guide. Find the spiritual guides.
Mhm.
And here's one on higher frequency, the reasoning. And I'm so happy that you came.
I'm so glad to be
Wow.
here. Like,
I mean, because you reached out. You're the one. And by the way, family, he is also a sponsor. So I'm so thankful, and thank you so much for sponsoring Higher
of course.
Frequency. And I appreciate you so much because you're one of the reasons why we keep going and Ronar gets paid.
Listen, you're this is where you as a divine feminine, you carry the platform. So I'm
Yes.
coming here and I'm watering with the seeds that God has given me.
Yes.
I only have what I have. And so this is where people can come together and bring in other skill sets. This,
Yes.
woo!
Yeah.
Now this is where I go from this amazing, elegant, spiritual
Right.
guy to I'm like, no, I don't even know what I'm doing. And so this just to show that we all have different gifts. And so as a griot, I'm not here to be in the limelight and be look at me, look at me. Like, no, I know what I have. But when it's time for someone else to shine, best believe I'll be telling their story.
Wow.
Because I already have mines. I already know what I can do. And so passing the mantle, passing the baton, is
Mm.
making sure, especially the
Mm.
next generation,
Light the
yo,
fire, baby.
ashe. And so
Mm.
that's what I do. The dragon, like
Yes, you do.
everything I do is like I'm here to ignite the flame for some that went really low, some that thought has went out. But it's time to resurrect the spirit within us, and then see who are we really?
Right.
Because we're more than the flesh. We're more than our job
So
titles. We're
true.
more than how we look on the outside. And so when you're able to tell people, listen, I am who I am, and then you begin to speak, sing, dance, do art, guess what? You now became undeniable because your words meet your actions and your actions are being expressed in a
Mm.
way that is uniquely yours. So this is where authenticity is it's the new currency now. We're seeing what
It
the world
sure
doing.
is the new currency now. It's the new abundance.
Ashe, yeah.
And we're richer like this, you know.
We're
This is,
glowing.
yeah, we
Look
are
at us.
glowing. And so those that carry all the quote unquote riches, they want to be here,
Mm,
you know.
girl, the amount of people I tried to like, listen, I got all this going on. They're like, oh, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, really? With all I've just told you.
Right.
Like I had conversations like this before with those who were in position to help, those who are the ones who are responsible for the children. And then they gave me the runaround. I'm like, oh, you got me fucked up. Because it's like, I didn't do this for show.
Right.
I could have sat in that uniform and played the
Right.
same game and been, oh, well, no. Spirit got me moving.
Yes.
So now that you're in position, you don't want to help, I need you out the way.
Listen, the moral of this story is find your purpose, family.
Mhm.
And the purpose is inspiration. Not only do you have to be inspired, you have to inspire people. That's a part of the purpose. Whatever it is, that's just a part of the purpose. And also tap into the youth.
Oof.
It's time to teach the youth. And now I understand why that part of the show, out of all of the things that I showed for the Indigenous event, it was my daughter, the youth, that got your attention. And you saw me through that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I got some gifts for you, well deserved. And like the gifts that I got for you, like while you were talking, I was just like, yes. So my spirit was right, because my spirit was like, give him this. Oh, should I give him this? Da, da, da. But I'm just gonna bring it all.
I'm excited.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So Ronar likes this part too. Okay, let's start with the yoga mat because it's right
Oh my
here. And I
God,
was
thank
asking.
God. When you said that, guess what? I lost my yoga mat.
Nuh-uh.
I cannot find it. I got pissed off because it was the first one I bought for my own. It had the little rope thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm official now. I don't even know where it went. So when you actually do have a yoga mat, I'm like, oh,
Did you know when I asked you, did you know I was gonna give you one?
I was hoping it would be a home yoga mat.
Yeah.
I lost
Oh my
mine.
God.
I'm like,
I love it.
I'm like, do I have to buy one? And I'm like, no. And here you are.
Yeah, and I've been so mindful because I'm like, I've been giving away these yoga mats, and do they like because I put a lot of like heart into these yoga mats and the materials. Like I chose all the materials, all eco-friendly,
Okay.
vegan leather. My logo is on it, and it'll last you a lifetime. It's very thick, it's very strong.
Yeah, I can see it. I'm
And
like, man, it's
so,
thicker than
yeah,
the
but
one
you
I
could
had.
fold it too. You could fold it. And so there you go. I know it's
Oh,
heavy.
merci, Manuel.
Yes.
Thank you.
And so
Oh,
I want you to enjoy that, take a picture, but not even, you don't have to. You could
yeah.
just be in your position, be in your flow, put your jewels out, put your stones out, and just be in a meditation. So along with that meditation, um I have this for you. And this is there's a couple things in here from my friend, Elemental Black Woman. This is what she calls herself.
Okay.
But I added some stuff in here. So there's black soap. There is incense holder with incense copal is in here. There's something from Elemental Black Woman, Khadijah, that she has like these little mats. Anyway, I'll let you see. It's in there. Palo Santo's in there.
Cool.
But like I just felt like this would be something
Now I'm ready
that would
digging
be
that. That looks really
really
dope.
great for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then me knowing that you were a police officer and like just all the things. Like my friend, she created this slogan, do what you fear.
Oh, that's dope.
I think I felt like this was you. And she gave me a few of them, and I'm very mindful who I'm giving it to. I'm not giving it to every single guest. I just go with the flow, go with the energy. And right before I walked out the door, I was like, I need to give him this. Do what you fear. And behind it is the explanation. She's so well put together. She does this so well. And she has do what you love, and she has do what you fear. And do what you fear
I resonated with that one.
winning,
Yeah.
is winning for her.
Yes.
Okay. Like a lot of people resonate with this. And so, because there's so many things that you can think about of what you fear that you can do and become stronger. So this is for you.
This is, believe it or not, one of the things I would realize the most, practically all my life, but really in law enforcement, was people feared being seen for who they really were.
Oof.
Some people prefer to be that the biggest, baddest thug on the street rather than being honest with who he was inside.
Right.
That girl wanted to be the biggest, baddest, I'm a bad bitch, I'm a boss girl. But
Yeah.
in reality, she just wanted to be cared for and loved. So a lot of people are living this life based on these external ideas. In reality, they fear being who they really are. So when it says do what you fear, sometimes it's just being you, doing what you really want to be. And that's probably the scariest thing you can ever do, because so many people are going to judge you. They're going to want to poke holes at what you really love. So many people hide their gifts because they don't want it to be attacked.
Right.
And yeah. This is amazing. I like this.
Yeah. Listen, it's easy to do what you love. Doing what you fear is the challenge. And when you overcome that, it's ascension, it's crown chakra. Yeah. Yeah.
Do what you
So
fear.
I knew you would like this.
Yeah, I like this.
And then lastly, Rolling Loud.
Girl.
It's just ancient,
Oh.
it's herbal, it's straight from the earth. And, that's why I do it with higher frequency. Higher frequency, that's why I present this. And all my guests are always so happy and thankful.
Oh, yes. That made my day. I'm like, oh.
Yes. And so, I want you to enjoy that. I want you to enjoy when you can, because all my guests, to say it the same way. It's like when it's that moment. It's not like, this isn't just like, just sit here and do nothing and just get lit. And like, this is a different type of lit, obviously, because I'm very mindful with the branding. I'm very mindful with the brand. And I'm so thankful for, this company that gifts, because they know what's up. They see what I'm doing. And so thank you, Rolling Loud, for always just, securing the goodies.
I'm so excited.
So, yes, enjoy. And then we got to get you back. Until next time, family, higher frequency, return to spirit. This is a Reiki healing. And what does it say? Reiki healing, know thyself. Yes. And so you guys will see the link in the description, and make sure you click on it and follow him. All the social media apps, all the social media, everything will be there. And so thank you. Thank you so much, Manuel, for coming.
It's great.
Yes,
I love it.
yes. Until next time.
Peace out.
Peace.